wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before they go sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, kìnìún ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó lórí kodò bí àdán ọgbẹ́tẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kó Odùduwà.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí. Àwa ló lè gba ògo ilé wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Ìyàmọ̀ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó gbójú owó tí wàá máa ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa kájé gbúgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó gbójú owó tí wàá máa ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó gbójú owó tí wàá máa ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó gbójú owó tí wàá máa ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ kájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ, àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní bọ́ra. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrè gidi.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjàfẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Egun tó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you up closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó fẹ́ òòdùn kan gígùn lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrè gèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà lágbédá ní òtítọ́ lágbédá ní.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àkìsọ̀dálẹ̀, àkìsọ̀díkèéta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdúrótán, àtúnpèrè kéde.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia we bring you up closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Is around
To
o.
give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
ladies and gentlemen,
Ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó kojú gbogbo.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Koikimedia.
Am I little ready?
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àkí ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan wọn Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jàmọ̀ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá torí pé wòrà apọ̀lẹ́ fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣe wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfimọ̀ ṣọ̀kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ Atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ Gègèlè wodò Ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ Òkúta Mẹ́ta Òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dágbàdàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho áfíkan pọkó sí amúkan yòókù bọ Sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ó lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé Màràmùjé ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tó láwọn ò ní bomi kó símú wọn láwọn ò ní bomi Sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ń kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó símú wọn ti bomi Sànyà wẹsẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí okùn díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Bọ̀dá Island àgbà lẹ́bí blue check jákàmọ̀ lọ́sìnbó wọ́n fẹ́ ti wà kàn bí the last is too much the last is too much jákàmọ̀ let's go.
Ọlọ́run ni mo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yẹn o gbogbo nǹkan tó lọ fún bàbá mi láyé kò fún bàbá mi ò tí ì yọ̀ǹda mẹ́sàn-án fún mi ń bẹ̀ ó kọ̀ lójú tí bàbá mi lọ. mo àti bọ́lá mo lọ sí mo bàbá mi ojúmọ̀ ní mọ́ ọmọ dàkọ̀ níbi kan àyẹ̀dà kẹ́ sọ́n dáadáa tàbí kẹ́ sọ́n burúkú ẹ̀ sásọ̀ kan omi lọ́lọ́run fún.
wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa gbé wálẹ̀.
ẹlẹ́fọkànbalẹ̀.
wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di bàbá ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa gbé wálẹ̀.
And a very good afternoon and welcome once again to the transmission. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and as we continue the quest and also as we continue the program, as we continue the campaign, today is all about fundraising. So fundraising, the platform for the Koikimedia, so that we can have more resources to work with. So wherever you are around the world, just make sure that today you should be able to say, we are still doing the Yoruba Nation campaign. The Koikimedia are still working back to back, but without funding, there's limited to what we can do. And it's already 2024. We spoke about it 3 years ago, but it seems that I won't know. So this time around, we will be back again with the Koikimedia, with the campaign, with everything within the resources that we have to educate many people. Without funding, we are all joking. Without funding, we cannot do much. So today, it's all about funding. We will talk about the Yoruba Nation campaign. We will talk about so many other areas, but it's all about funding. So for those of us that are watching us on the Koikimedia, we have already the account details there, but the rest of you, we'll be putting it into the broadcast as we go into the program. There will be some noise at the background. It's a mobile studio, so I'm sure many of you know by now that we're operating from the house, and that literally means that this is one of the reasons why we need to hop the game so that we can be able to remotely work away from the house. But I don't think working from home has stopped us in the last 3 years. But what is really important right now is pé ṣé a fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà àbí a kàn ń sọ pẹ̀lú àwọn lásán. Kólúkálukú wa kó máa rò lọ́kàn. Èyí ni first Sunday in the month of February. Happy Sunday to many of us around the world. So ẹni tó bá mọ̀ ibi tí ẹ ti lè support wa and which part of what you have to do, what you can do is just make sure you continue the support. Mo ti wà on the air at the moment. Kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀? All right, later mo ti wà on the air, please. All right. So, Emma Binu, as usual, that is what happened when you have a lot of things to work with. Emma Binu, I think there might be a glitch now because call has come through with the Instagram. So we're gonna end it and then start that again. Again, this is the reason why we need multiple devices so that sometimes the one that we are using doesn't have impact on the broadcast. So it's all about fundraising today. So we are raising fund, and I hope many of you will dip your hand in your pocket before the end of the program, and we can say we've done at least something today. So we'll probably be doing that every month. Apart from many of you that are still supporting us financially, without money, we cannot do anything. So today, it's all about the funding. So I'm going to go straight, and then we're going to play the Yoruba anthem, and then we start the program officially. And I hope that we have all prepared our mind that whether we like it or not, the country that we love so much has finally collapsed. Brother mi kan sọ pé kí mama sọ pé àwa la máa destroy Nigeria. Wọ́n ní Nigeria fúnra rẹ̀ ti destroy ara rẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko. So wherever you are, no matter how small, you should be ready to contribute to the Koikimedia program today. And I hope you will do that. We trust a lot of you will do that. So program so let's see how far we go. But before we do that, let's start with this. About almost 4 years now, the journey of the Yoruba nation kick-started. Fantastic. About 4 years ago, precisely. Because when we look at 2019, when the program started, till date, it has changed the conversation in Nigeria. Before 2019, the only conversation Tamang Bonekwe Nigeria ma ṣiṣẹ́ àti pé politics nìkan la máa ń gbọ́. And because kò sí option on the table, so some of us were either on the side of kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe, while some of us were also on the side of Intalishewa. But in 2019, a very important man in the history of Yoruba came on board, and that is the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Group, Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Baba, and as soon as the Baba did, the message of hope came to the Yoruba people. And that is about 2019 precisely. Until date, we are still grateful to him for taking the message of hope to so many of us that have supported him with everything. They try to destroy his reputation, both online and offline. Can you go upstairs and watch it upstairs? Good boy. They destroy his reputation. But for the fact that some of us stood very close to him, we did not back down. In tó ń jẹ́ kí bàbá yẹn kó ní strength títí di èní nìyẹn. In tó sì ń jẹ́ kí bàbá Akíntóyè kó ní strength kò ju pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan refuse to leave him alone. We gave him all the moral, spiritual, and the financial support. Because ìgbà tí bàbá gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation wá bá gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, aláwọn tó jẹ́ èèyàn tí ó jẹ́ kó gbé project yẹn wá bá wa. But everybody knows that it was their own selfish interest. So they could not be bothered. Pé à ń sọ pé ibi tí ọmọ Yorùbá wà lénìí, ibẹ̀ kọ́ ló jẹ́ ká wà. So Baba Akintoye, with a small group of Yoruba indigenous people, female and male, came together and presented kódà mo tẹ́ rò pé lómi tẹ́ mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan wà tán pè ní self-determination. Kò ń ṣe báwa kan mọ̀, especially àwa tá wà Nigeria àtàwa tá wà abroad. Because I don't want us to look at àwọn tó wà Nigeria pé wọ́n mọ̀ kankan. Wọ́n mọ̀, but unfortunately, many of them don't have a better understanding. Àwa náà tá wà abroad, àwa náà mọ̀, but a mọ̀ pé ó lè lọ báyìí àbí kò lè lọ báyìí. So Baba Akintoye came and presented Yoruba nation to us. Ìgbà tí bàbá dé pẹ̀lú campaign Yoruba nation, he made it clear at the beginning of the movement pé Yoruba máa lọ kúrò nínú the contraction tí wọ́n ń pè ní Nigeria. A máa kúrò nínú Nigeria. And he laid the plans and the strategy. Kódà ìgbà tó dé stage kan, àwọn kan tẹ̀ ní kò ní strategy, kò ní paperwork, kò ní manual. So that was in between the campaign. Pé a máa kọ́kọ́ tẹ̀ gbọ́ pé bàbá tẹ̀ máa sọ fún wa pé ìran Yorùbá ibi tá wà kọ́ ló jẹ́ ká wà. Baba took us to somewhere that many of us today will be grateful. Kódà wọ́n tún jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ibi tí bàbá gbé wa lọ yẹn pé kò ní any value kankan in the community and the global world, which is the UNPO, Unrepresented People and Organization. Some of us again went back and say, ṣé kò ń ṣe pé bàbá wọ́n mọ nǹkan ṣe ni. Àwa realize pé game tí àwọn kan mọ̀ dáadáa òun ni pé kó destroy nǹkan tó bá rí pé probability pé kíní yẹn máa ní important lé ayé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn wo la wá ń sọ yìí? These are the Yoruba elite. These are the Yoruba wealthy that have enough resources more than us. They've used Nigeria to raise their own resources. And these are the people we are competing with. And that's the reason why we got to raise money again today. Because if Tabana fake by Yoruba nation, Tawo lowo as a media, tí àwọn dẹ̀ ní media tó ń project Nigeria fáwọn èèyàn wa, without even mentioning the names of any media platform in Nigeria, gbogbo wa la lè díjú ta lè sọ pé àwọn media ti Nigeria tí wọ́n fund náà ni. And everybody knows that every media is either working for or against for something. I can reference to BBC. BBC ní UK ní bíbá is not working for my own agenda. Kò work fún nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kó ṣe fún mi. But they are investing money into different things that is so much irrelevant for many of us that are living in UK. But I need choice because àwa kọ́ ni director BBC. But àwa là ń fund the BBC. Lóòótọ́, they have a lot of different programs that has got to do with the ethnic minority or the Black, Caribbean, and the Asians, because that is how they classify as people in this country. But BBC mọ̀ pé tá a bá fún àwọn ní owó, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan táwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n lè ṣe. And tí bá ń dárúkọ BBC, I am also referencing to the BBC Yoruba tó wà ní Nigeria, because BBC Yoruba tó wà ní Nigeria is a colonialist agenda to change the narrative to keep us in Nigeria. So tá bá ń gbọ́ BBC Yoruba, BBC Igbo, BBC Hausa, BBC Pidgin, ǹjẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ń béèrè pé kí ni agenda tó wà behind it? Because it is still the same British tá à ń sọ pé wọ́n amalgamate Nigeria lọ́kọ́ wa sínú ibi tá a wà yìí. Àwọn náà lọ́tún wa lọ ń set up media fáwa nílé tí àwa wá fẹ́ràn ju irú àwọn platforms wa yìí lọ. We disregard BBC as the authentic organization. That is why any protest tó bá máa heavy nílùú yìí, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Peter Oladele wà lórí program. He works about a few meters away from BBC and he can verify what I'm about to say. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ highlight protest tó jẹ́ pé ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ níwájú BBC head office tó wà ní London, which is about a few meters from Marble Arch, no, Oxford Circus, ní Portland Street. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbẹ̀, ẹ wá move protest yẹn jáde dé number 10 Downing Street. And that was still what happened yesterday pẹ̀lú campaign àwọn tí wọ́n wà against bí Israel ṣe ń pààyàn ní Palestine. Èrò tó jáde lánàá is approximately about 1 million people. Wọ́n ní jáde fún Yorùbá nísìnyí o, tólúkálukú apá tètè ya mọ̀ yẹn lọ́kàn. Àwa ti gbé protest lọ síbẹ̀, gbogbo àwa ta débẹ̀, mo rò pa pé 1,000. Apariwo títí ìgbà tó sú wa, BBC hotel wá bá wa nísàlẹ̀, wọ́n tẹ̀ wá gba ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wa because wọ́n rí important nǹkan tá wá discuss níbẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pípa tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ajínipa, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ in tó ń dùn wá lọ́kàn tí BBC dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wá gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu wa because àwa là ń sanwó fún wọn. So lẹ́ni pé a fẹ́ gba owó again lórí Koikimedia, it is morally right. It is now up to you as an individual to say, èmi ò lówó tí mo fẹ́ fún ẹ, bókàn máa kọ́ máa gbọ́ ẹni, no problem. Tẹ́ bá ní ẹ̀ ní owó tẹ́ fẹ́ fi fund media tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ campaign for the Yoruba nation, I am only media, but I'm speaking on behalf of my own media because it's an independent away from any other organization, and I've been independent. But èmi kò gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation, mo gbé sórí Koikimedia, mo wá fi àwọn resources tí wọ́n fund Koikimedia tí mo feel pé ó lè ní a bit of issue pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ campaign àgbà. You're welcome. Leave the plate. I'll deal with it. You're welcome. You can go upstairs, but if you want to watch it here, just not. You can sit down, but don't make it too loud, okay? Mo fẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ ká gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ. Oh, very, very important, because many ọmọ Yorùbá tí mọ̀ pé media gangan ló máa change the narrative ìrìn àjò yìí. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ mọ̀, and that is why they have not stopped máa gbọ́nwọ́ sáwo, máa support, especially àwọn tó ń campaign lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìrìn àjò yìí. BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, ṣé mọ̀ pé látijọ́ ta ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation títí di bí ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí. I'm not talking about ti BBC, mo tẹ̀ tí mo bí BBC Yorùbá wọ́n ti gbéra rí pé káwọn tẹ̀ lọ interview bàbá Akíntóyè ní Benin Republic láti lọ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu bàbá yẹn pé kí lẹ fẹ́ gangan. I don't think I have any clip or evidence to that. Kò ń ṣe pé wọn kì í gbé ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ sórí wẹ́bsáìtì wọn tí a bá sọ̀rọ̀ àbí tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àbí bí wà tá à ń ṣe rálì, bọ́ pé kó tẹ̀ lọ bá ẹni tó jẹ́ leader wa nínú ìrìn àjò yìí pé kó gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀, kó wá send the clip yẹn. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. BBC Yorùbá ló ń represent BBC ti UK. Àwọn BBC Yorùbá tẹ̀yìn gbọ́hùn yẹn, àwa tá wà ní United Kingdom, owó TV license wa la fi ń fund wọn, but kó tẹ̀ wá gbé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation kó lọ interview bàbá Akíntóyè, kó wá send ẹ̀ sí headquarters wọn ní UK, kó wá bá wa play, nítorí pé bàbá Akíntóyè ò tí wá sí UK ni mo ṣe ń sọ yẹn. Because níbi tí ilé ayé dé nísìn, bàbá Akíntóyè ò ní láti wà ní UK kí a tó bá ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn. Ǹjẹ́ tẹ́ ronú bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé kí ló dé tí BBC, èyí tó jẹ́ main branch wọn ní UK, tí wọ́n fún wa ní airtime rí lórí Yorùbá Nation pẹ̀lú bàbá Akíntóyè? Ǹjẹ́ gbogbo wa tẹ̀ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé why has the BBC not spoken to the leader of the Yoruba self-determination campaign? Have we ever asked ourselves that question? Kí ló dé tí BBC ò gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn báwa ṣe ń gbé? Nítorí pé the agenda is the same agenda tí wọ́n create tá fi wà níbi tá wà lénìí. But ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe pé aláwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní BBC, I don't want to mention names, but mo mọ̀yàn kan tí mo bá tẹ̀ mọ́ mẹ́ta, mo mọ̀yàn kan débi pé kò sí olóṣèlú kan tó wọ̀lú yìí tí kò ní grant interview fún lórí BBC tó dẹ̀ máa air. Ọmọ Yorùbá lẹni tí mò ń sọ yìí, brother wa náà ni. But ṣe mọ̀ pé bí a wá ṣe yẹ expect pé ká wá bá wọn officially, or bí a torí bàbá ò sí nílé ní London, so bí a yẹn ni bí a ti bàbá Akíntóyè bá ráyè wọ UK, bí a ta bá sọ fún wọn wá ní káwa náà gbé bàbá Akíntóyè wá. And I can tell you that at least kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún mi, ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni mo láǹfààní, kò ń ṣe nǹkan, kò ń ṣe méjì, mo kàn sọ pé at least ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ni mo wọ BBC tí BBC ń ṣe interview fún àwọn èèyàn méjì tí màá dárúkọ because they are public figure. Ó dà pàtẹ́jù méjì lọ, but méjì tí mo ṣe rántí ọ̀fẹ́. Ọmọyẹlé Sowore was interviewed by the BBC. What they air interview yẹn during his campaign for election. Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùnmí, brother wa, the former PDP spokesman, was interviewed before as well. And these two, at least I was there. What I'm trying to say is that what do we want from the media? And how do we fund it to deliver the kind of job that we want it to deliver? Are we really serious? We are fairly by Yoruba nation, but we are not going to use the media to do the job, knowing fully well that no media in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in the 7 continents around the world are ready to deliver our message as exactly as we want it. But there was one that made a bit of talk about it at the beginning of the campaign. At least we give kudos to Arise Television. About approximately when we started the campaign, Arise Television gave us this information. And that information has been what led to many of us seeing, understanding that there will now be a game changer lórí ìrìn àjò àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. And that is the reason why we are still in the movement today. Let's listen to this.
Yoruba-speaking tribe of Nigeria has been accepted as the 45th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization. Leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, says the membership represents a very important step in the collective quest of well-meaning Yoruba people to achieve the goal of dignity and self-determination.
It is my great pleasure and pride to inform you that the Yoruba nation has been admitted to the membership of UNPO. UNPO means Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, with its headquarters in The Hague. The UNPO has expressed their gladness to welcome the Yoruba nation as a new member of UNPO, and they're looking forward to working with us. It is important because it is a great stride, and it represents a very important step in our collective quest to achieve the goal of dignity in the country in which we live, and also to achieve the goal of self-determination for our nation. Our Yoruba nation now has a voice on the international stage via the machinery of the UNPO, which maintains a permanent presence before the United Nations and before other international agencies like the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and the governments of various other countries across the world.
And that was Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Campaign. Is not the leader of the Yoruba people. We have many multiple leaders from the Afenifere and those that say they are the leaders. But lórí pé ọmọ Yorùbá dúró lórí the terms and conditions kan pé àwa o in tó bá hun ọmọ Yorùbá tó sì sọ pé òun fẹ́ Nàìjíríà pé àwa fẹ́ lọ lórí ìrìn àjò yìí ní pé leader kan ta ní, and the only leader, credible leader, the able leader, the leader that told us that the Yoruba people were far better off than being part of Nigeria. The question then is, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ continue to propagate, to deliver the message offline and online sí ìrìn àjò Yoruba Nation campaign pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé àtàwọn tó wà níta. This is why we have been on air for the last 3.5 years of this journey. It has been a bumpy ride. It has been all kind of different things. But I now think that at any opportunity, ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. And I'm sure Timo Bate Beresin listy àwọn reasons yẹn gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ pé ìyàtọ̀ tí wá nísìn ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. Àwọn ìyàtọ̀ yẹn ni pé the indication àwọn kan tí àwọn èèyàn rò pé kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ nígbà tá à ń sọ pé ká kúrò ní Nàìjíríà tá à ń ṣàlàyé tán ní kò yé àwọn ó yé wa díẹ̀ ni kò yé wa púpọ̀ ni. Ṣé wá mọ̀ pé this is now much better nítorí pé the message tá kò ní láti deliver fáwọn èèyàn nísìn ni pé the message of reasons, the future, but how do we deliver that message? Because ṣe rántí pé nígbà tá bẹ̀rẹ̀, it was a very fantastic journey, but there was also glitch, just like we knew that àwọn tí àwa fẹ́ convince, àwọn olóṣèlú náà fẹ́ convince wọn. Àwọn wo là ń sọ yìí? Our people. Ṣé wà pé lára àwọn family wa kankan náà wọ́n believe nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí? I have my family members that we have not spoken for the last 3 years because what disagree pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí mò ń sọ pé ká kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Not that pé wọ́n ń gbádùn Nàìjíríà. I'm talking about èyí tó wà nínú Nàìjíríà àti èyí tó wà labroad. Ìkan wà tájọ́ wà ní UK. And I'm not joking because I have taken it as tẹ́ bá ní ẹ̀fẹ́ bá wa ṣe lórí pé a gbé Yorùbá nation dání. A fi ń sílẹ̀. I have not spoken to my stepbrother for the last 4 years. I don't ní Louis. I have not spoken with him for the last 4 years because nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ mo mọ̀ tó sọ pé mo ń drag orúkọ bàbá wa lórí social media. Òun lè sọ yẹn because he lives there, he has documents, is okay. But àwọn tó wà nílé tó wà okay, àwọn náà disagree pẹ̀lú mi, wọ́n pè mí. Wọ́n náà sọ fún Koiki, wọ́n ránṣẹ́ sí mọ́ sí mi. Ọmọ yìí ó ń forúkọ bàbá wa sórí social media. And 4 years down the line, we are still grateful that we have not relented. These are àwọn ogun ìdílé tèmi tó ń bá mi jà. Ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀, but wọ́n drag mi gan nísàlẹ̀. Ìyẹn àwọn tájọ jẹ́ family. I'm talking about the immediate family now. Tibani step brother. I'm sure you all know the meaning of step brothers. Tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe meeting. Oríṣiríṣi. I care less because yàtọ̀ sí tó wà ní UK tó ti sọ fún mi tí mo dẹ̀ ti boycott ẹ̀. Àwọn tó kù ò lè wá bá mi, but wọ́n ránṣẹ́ sí mọ́ sí mi. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sọ fún mi ní UK. Pé mi ni mo fẹ́ da Nàìjíríà rú. Mo wá ń drag orúkọ bàbá wa. I can now say that at least Sheripe Atwani more better opportunity. This is the reason why we will not relent. Because in the last administration of Buhari, it is now an opportunity for us to now add extra on our own platform. I'm speaking on behalf of my platform because I am capable for the campaign with the media. I am not the YSDM. The YSDM is there to do whatever they want to do. My job is to do what I can do from the media perspective to highlight the danger as in accordance to Babakito Ishiso for me. You know danger will have one. What are the dangers? The danger is that for 6 days, what kidnap àwọn ọmọ ní Èkìtì, adúpẹ́ pé wọ́n rí wọn, wọ́n deliver wọn padà, but wọ́n pa driver bí information tó wá sórí desk wa bá ṣe gbọ́. We could have prevented that. Ṣé báwọn tí wọ́n lọ rescue wọn yìí nísìn, lára àwọn táwọn sọ pé kó protect wọn, kó fún wọn ní nǹkan tó need. lára campaign yẹn ó jáde nínú Yorùbá Nation because kò sí ọmọ Yorùbá Nation campaigner tí kò pariwo pé ẹ fáwọn security wa ní gbogbo tó fẹ́ àtúwá highlight danger in tó ń pè ní constitution Nigeria tí kò allow state police, and that has not changed yet. So as today is about funding, but I still have to do more of a program to be able to deliver pé tabawa káwọ́ pé àwọn nǹkan tí à ń gbọ́ lórí ìrìn àjò láàrin méjì pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀yà kejì tí wọ́n da ìrìn àjò yẹn rú, táwọn kan ní ṣìbá ti kówó fún yín àti dáwó fún yín àárí kankan fi ṣe, àwa tá a ṣì wá believe àwa náà wá tí wá sọ pé ànímú kankan sílẹ̀ àfi tí wàhálà bá délẹ̀. Ṣe jẹ́ ká má ti jẹ́ kí wàhálà yẹn délẹ̀ ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò campaign yẹn padà from the media side of things. It has taken literally almost, if not 2 years nísìn lọ́dọ̀ tiwa tí mo lè sọ pé a print flyer. Ṣèbẹ́yìn tí ẹ jẹ́ diaspora ṣèbá fún yín ní template tí mo ní ẹ bá wa lọ print ẹ kọ wá fún wa, and you were delivering the platform, I mean those flyers nígbà tá a wà lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa Olóyè Ìgbòho Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá. There is still the opportunity to get back on the track rather than us coming out online alone without moving offline, because we need the offline. Torí pé ara ti tàwọn èèyàn nísìn ju ti 3 years ago lọ. Ara ó ti tàwọn èèyàn wa nísìn. We can see it in their voice, in their message, in whatever they are saying. Ìyẹn àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà nílé gbogbo wa là ń gbọ́ nísìn. Mo ní láti ṣe lọ sọ fún yín pé evidence tí à ń rí nísìn, there will still some that will remain adamant pé àwọn ò ní kúrò nínú Nigeria, and we will still make sure we try our best. But for the fact that within May tí Buhari gbéjọba sílẹ̀ àti February tá wà nínú ẹ̀, approximately how many months? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Oṣù mẹ́sàn-án ti lọ lórí ẹ̀. Kódà ẹni bá lóyún oṣù mẹ́sàn-án, ó jẹ́ kó máa target pé òun fẹ́ deliver. And we have now seen more cry than nígbà tá kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ campaign yẹn, because nígbà yẹn àníyàn táwọn sọ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kí ọmọ Yorùbá débẹ̀ náà. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí a da ìrìnàjò ti ẹ̀rú. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fi ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa ká fi kó bá tiẹ̀. Bọ̀wọ́ ti gbàgbé pé ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa lòun fi step débi tó dé. Everybody knows that. There's no doubt about it. There's a pure evidence that the campaign of Yoruba Nation tí Bàbá Akíntóyè gbé wá síwájú wa, òun ló deliver Tinubu débi tó dé. And that is why some even say, Baba congratulated, Baba kí, Baba ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún, and all kind of different things to destroy Baba Akintoye's reputation. But like I said, they tried. They made every allegations, not just on Baba Akintoye, on almost every single one of us. Some of us are where we are right now is we need to now re-engineer again and take the advantage, because kò sí nǹkan tó wà láyé tó ní advantage tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ní sọ fún yín pé kò ní disadvantage. There's things that have advantage and there's things that also have disadvantage. Advantage ta ní nísìn pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nínú ìlú tó ń pè ní Nigeria. Let's take that advantage and push extra the message, mostly online and offline. I am not speaking on behalf of any organization. I am not speaking on behalf of any. I'm speaking on behalf of Koikimedia. From what we can do. This is not the time. Koda, as at the time we were producing these flags, to OLAYOMI, telling diaspora to inject it was a lot of money that was injected. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa ní òun rí the results ní Nigeria. Ìgbà tẹ́yìn diaspora tẹ pumping resources sínú movement yìí. Ṣé mọ̀ pé resources yẹn, we saw it until that devilish woman came and changed the narrative on us. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Bible ṣe ń sọ pé, ṣé mọ̀ pé I've never done a program in a very long time like this, even though we come out, Amanda Para, Efun Alowo, Eshidi. Ṣé mọ̀ pé lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n, they are raising fund. And even nobody knows what the purpose of the fund is, but it is their right. And that is the good thing about freedom. Ṣé mọ̀ pé almost on a daily basis, they are raising fund, even though their fund is to deliver whatever they are saying they will deliver. Whether they will carry the Yoruba people, because they are projecting on their end as if they intention ni carry gbogbo ọmọ Yoruba. That is the difference between us and them. That is why some of us, they've linked up to say probability wà pa àwọn ará bí ìṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú olóṣèlú. Wọ́n á béèrè pé ṣé Yorùbá nation tẹ́ fẹ́ gbà yẹn kò ní sí àwọn tó ń jẹ́ olóṣèlú nínú ẹ̀ tábà gba Yorùbá nation. Ṣé máa lé wọn kúrò nínú ìlú? Ṣé máa sọ fún wọn pé kó kúrò nínú orílẹ̀-èdè yẹn? And moreover, these are still the same people operating in the Nigeria of today. And that means that our message nísìn ni pé àwọn tó lóṣèlú náà ń fún ní exercise book. Ẹ lọ wo ohun tí Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà tó ń donate fún wọn ní Sùúrùlérè. Wọ́n ń jọ exercise book to 200 naira. Ṣé Fẹ́mi náà lówó kémi náà produce a million exercise book kémi náà máa donate láti fún àwọn tí wọ́n wà in need, because àti mọ̀ nísìnyí pé àwọn èèyàn need exercise book. Kí ló dé táwa náà ṣe exercise book? We can do it. It is possible. Because àwọn ní enough resources láti lè fi project the exercise book yẹn. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ó deliver result fún wọn, because tẹ́ bá lọ wo outcome of the by-election tó ṣe ní Sùúrùlérè, APC ló win. And it is because money, funding was injected into it. Even though pé ìlú kanra máwọn èèyàn, ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn sì jáde lọ vote. So why is our own going to be different is the question. Kí ló dé tí tiwa ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ yàtọ̀ sí tàwọn olóṣèlú yẹn nígbà táwọn sì ń take advantage pé ìlú tó gbóná tó rọrùn for anybody kọ́lọ́n jẹ́ kó tutù mọ́ wa lára. Wọ́n sì lọ campaign. Kódà ojú òtẹ̀ tí wọ́n pé àwọn èèyàn máa lẹ̀kọ̀ mọ́ wọn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn lẹ̀kọ̀ mọ́ wọn because wọ́n jáde gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà, because ọmọ Nàìjíríà làwọn. Wọ́n jáde láti fẹ́ deliver fáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà pé àwa la sì máa jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà dá fún yín. And everybody knows that in another 300 years, bí Fẹ́mi Adésínà Akínwùmí, the African Development President, said during one of the events in Abuja, nígbà tí wọ́n ń ṣe gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Buhari máa lọ, ó ní in 300 years, Nigeria ò lè develop pẹ̀lú trajectory tó ń bá lọ. Kí ló wá dé tí àwọn olóṣèlú sì lọ ń campaign fáwọn èèyàn wa pé Nàìjíríà máa dáa? Táwa náà dẹ̀ fi campaign fún wọn pé Nàìjíríà ò lè dáa, a dẹ̀ fi náwó, a fi release owó, a fi ṣe as much láti compete pẹ̀lú wọn. Number one, a ní fire airwave táwọn ní, because àwọn ò lè set up fully officially nínú Nigeria, because Nigeria does not give that room for self-determination. But kò wá mí pé lè ṣe so many things láti convince àwọn èèyàn wa nílé pé ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí níbi tó dé nísìn tí ara ń kan yín tí ara yín tó ń gbóná, let us pull out of Nigeria. That is where the media needs to work back to back, both online and offline. Àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé àìtí prepare fún gbogbo yẹn pé ká kọ̀ máa bá ìrìn àjò yìí lọ títí tí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa fi lànà officially fún rẹ̀, which nobody knows when it's going to happen, because I can tell us that whether we like it or not, these politicians are not just only using funding to convince our people, they are also working spiritually to deceive àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá pé Nàìjíríà ṣì máa dáa. But ìkọ̀kan tí wọ́n fún wa ni pé ìgbà wo ló máa dáa? We've listened to Femi Gbajabiamila, the chief of staff to President Bola Tinubu, while he was speaking at the campaign rally of the APC in Surulere. We all had it during the program yesterday. I don't have to play it again. Or you can find it on the social media. Ṣé rántí pé òun náà ló sọ fún wa nínú fídíò wa kan tá a máa ń play kó tó di pé system tá à ń lò crash. Tó sọ pé with the help of Almighty Allah, àwa tá a believe in Allah nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé ọmọ Ifá ni mí, ọmọ Ọbàtálá ni mí, ọmọ Èṣù ni mí, mo ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ tán pè ní Allah. Àwọn làwọn ọmọ Allah, èmi ò mọ Allah, àwọn làwọn ọmọ Jésù, èmi ò mọ Jésù, and it goes vice versa. But he has told us that with the Almighty Allah, God will help President Bola Tinubu. But ṣé mọ̀ pé wọ́n dúró lórí yẹn nìkan, they are still funding. Àwọn kan ti pè mí lẹ́yìn pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ an account. Tá ní one single account and all that. I don't want to go into all that again this year. And I'm being honest now, until tí bàbá bá jáde padà again láti tún wá fún. But I am talking about the media now. Bí ṣe wà báyìí nísìn, ó ní project tí bàbá kí tó ìgbélé mi lọ́wọ́, which is not for public consumption yet. And our team have started working on it, just like it gives different people different projects. Pé ọmọ mi, a dẹ̀ máa need nǹkan báyìí o, a fẹ́ ṣe àwọn nǹkan báyìí o, ó dẹ̀ máa da ká wò báyìí o. And màá dẹ̀ pé kí bàbá ìtẹ́ bá ti ṣe pé a lè ṣe, ta dẹ̀ fi pé ó máa help ìrìn àjò yìí, why not? And we have started working on it, and that project should be delivered to him this month. I don't have to ask funding from Baba. I don't need to tell him that, Baba, ìtẹ́ dẹ̀ gbé wáyé, ó náà pé máa ní ìdíbi 2 million naira o, because kò sí nǹkan tí a fẹ́ ṣe tí a ní need the resources fún. So this is where we come back saying diaspora, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, ẹ̀yin elite wa tẹ́ dákẹ́, tí it seems that gbogbo tá à ń sọ kò really relevant, kò click mọ́ yín, because lọ́dọ̀ tí yín we are ṣe Rosu báwo lọ́jọ́ máa ń sọ ìbò yẹn, we are just wasting our energy and time. But what can you understand ni pé the media táwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ rí lò nígbà tí wọ́n negotiate in Nigeria ó ṣe àkóbá tó pọ̀ fún wa, because even though pé media ti àwọn òyìnbó ni wọ́n fi project in Nigeria fún gbogbo wa, because èmi ò rò pé wọ́n pe gbogbo media ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nígbà tí wọ́n fẹ́ amalgamate wa pé ẹ lọ polongo fún gbogbo ọmọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ọmọ Oòduà Ọ̀yọ́ empire ọkọ lọ lu agogo. I don't think we have any history of such. Láti sọ fún wọn pé orúkọ tó ń pè wá o, ẹ gbọ́rọ̀ yìí dáadáa. Nígbà tí òyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun dé, ìyẹn àwọn British government, British empire, àwọn ìjọba tàná, nígbà tí wọ́n dé tí a jọ ń gbé nígbègbè àlàáfíà, nígbà tí wọ́n dé tí a jọ ń ṣe, ta fún wọn ní ààyè lọ́dọ̀ wa, nígbà yẹn tá à ń pe ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa ní the empire, Ọ̀yọ́ empire, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kingdom. Nígbà tó wá di pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe amalgamation, pé wọ́n máa kó gbogbo wa papọ̀, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ránṣẹ́ sí gbogbo aráàlú níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn pé orúkọ tí wọ́n ń pè yín o, a máa dá orúkọ yẹn padà sí tí ohun àwa láti fún yín. Ṣé mọ̀ pé a lè àǹfààní àti gbọ́ ìtàn pé ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìdí tí a ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ wá lo mídíà lénìí láti dá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn padà sínú ilé ayé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nílé àti lóko pé the 1914 amalgamation wọ́n polongo ẹ̀ débi tí ó dé abúlé tèmi, tó dé abúlé tọ̀dọ̀ tiẹ̀ àti sítì wa àti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá látòkè désàlẹ̀. Kò síbì kankan tá a rí ẹ̀rí pé àwọn mídíà jọ́ náà lọ́hùn-ún, àwọn alágogo tó máa ń lo ago fún ọba pé kéèrè o, kéèrè o, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá o, a máa dá orúkọ yín, a máa dá padà sí orúkọ mi o. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ó likely pé káwọn èèyàn disagree pẹ̀lú wọn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. But there was no power of the media. Ìdí tí a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe relent pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ media lénìí nìyẹn. And we are grateful for the kind of technology. I don't need any license from anybody to transmit what I'm doing. The least the platforms like our own that are speaking the truth to the power have been shadow banned. Because they knew that over 500,000 tó wà lórí Facebook mi bá ń gbọ́rọ̀ mi lójoojúmọ́, there is probability that the hope of Yoruba nation máa wá sáyé nínú ayé àwọn ènìyàn. But rather, we have seen other religion message on the social media tí wọ́n dẹ̀ fún láyé pé kó deliver message of hope pé tabaku o, ibi báyìí là ń lọ, iyì tèmi wá ń deliver. Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn social media wọ́n lọ́kẹ̀ wọ́n jẹ́ kó jáde. Ìjà tèmi ń bá wọn jà ni mo ṣe máa ń sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní tó ń pa wá. We are dealing with the colonialists. We are dealing with the people that have the same problem. Tá a fẹ́ resolve. This is going to need a lot of media message campaign to push the message. How do we do that? It's not about pé ká kọ̀ tán phone and sorrow. It's about getting the message now, especially bí ara ṣe ń kọ́ àwọn èèyàn. If not, àtọ́jú fídíò yìí dáadáa. Èní kì ní ọjọ́ kẹrin inú oṣù kejì ọdún 2024. I can tell us that by 2027, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá máa jáde wá tó lọ vote. Wá ti gbàgbé gbogbo pain, gbogbo wàhálà táwọn face, either the first 9 months, bóyá nǹkan sì máa dá níjọ́ iwájú in the next 3 years of this administration. I, Olayomi Koiki, do not see that happening. But I can assure us that people will go back out and vote in 2027. Tá a bá tètè key in again, just like we started on a very brilliant note, kó tó di pé Dagboru woman tó ní kú síbi táṣọ ẹ̀ wà, olórí burúkú tí mo ti ṣe fídíò kékeré fún gbogbo yẹn lọ́wọ́ fídíò yẹn tó ń daṣọ bojú bí eégún. Yes, rabble rouser. Thank you so much. That was the word I was looking for. Ask God, voice of man. Màá kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan, but ẹ jẹ́ ká deliver message. So tó bá ti pé another few minutes, I want to open the phone line and I just want people to call in and say, Koiki, máa fún ẹni £20. Koiki, I donate nǹkan báyìí. This week, I'm going to work with my team. We're going to design another template of flyer. Even more design, it's more so no election. Kódà àwọn kan fi tẹ̀sí mi lójú, wọ́n ní ṣèbéèrè sọ pé kò ní selection. Èmi ò ní síbẹ̀ ní sí pé no election in 2027. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. No. I tún máa redesign another poster. And when that poster is delivered, I don't want to hear pé kákọ̀ máa pín lórí social media. We need at least nothing less than 5 million of that. We will design that and I'll bring it back a week from now. Hopefully, tabati ti ṣetán. Yorùbá la máa fi kọ́. need English wọn nísìn wàá fi Yorùbá kódà kò bá jẹ́ A4 àwa design ẹ̀ àgbé wá fún gbogbo wa ká wò. We need 5 million copies of that. You can print it for us. You can print it for yourself. Let's start the offline message now again. We are doing well on the online, which is the social media, but it is not getting closer because Olóyè Igboho ti fún wa ní 7%. I've said it before. In Nigeria, that 7% is still there. And that is why many people are now looking and saying, Koiki, ọ̀rọ̀ oṣù tí a gbé dání nípa ti màmá, kódà àwọn kan ní ká postpone it. Everybody saying different things. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó lóye wá. I've received calls almost on a daily basis. And I can always say, it is still a security question. Ẹnu mi kọ́ ni máa sọ fún yín pé olóyè ń bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. It is a security question because olóyè for me is 5 times like Moko Joe Biden, Moko ti China, Moko Russia, Putin, mo fi Rishi Sunak sí, mo dẹ̀ lo India. Àwọn márààrún yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ lolóyè ṣe jẹ́ nígbà àyà mi. So it's a security question that we must protect. And that is subject to him to decide. Òun nìkan ló ní the final say. We can tell him what to do, we can advise him. But one more point mo kàn fẹ́ lóun bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé the engine room, àwọn kan ní a pé push it. No, it's not about pushing it. Let us first push the message of hope padà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa offline. But the only person that can give us that kind of hope offline, tí a nídìí láti sanwó fẹ́ni kankan, which we have not done. Because all the rallies tá a ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, yàtọ̀ sí pé olóyè fọ́ǹdì à ń rẹpo sí mọ́tò, à ń ṣe 1 or 2 things, bí a bá délé, wọ́n ní kọ́ sí rice rẹpẹtẹ, kọ́ dín puff-puff, àwọn diaspora dẹ̀ send àwọn owó tá a fi ń ṣe so many of those projects, t-shirt, this, fìlà, that, gbogbo ẹ̀. He spent, only God knows the estimate of what olóyè spend in those rallies. Ó attend, kò attend, olówó tó ń gbélẹ̀. Just like bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń gbé sílẹ̀ lòun náà ń gbé sílẹ̀. But right now, this is not the time pé torí pé Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ ká wá dákẹ́, ká wá jókòó, ká wá máa fọwọ́ sẹ́rọ̀, ká wá máa sọ̀rọ̀, ká máa ṣe analysis, which is good, but what about the offline one? So funding on platform is important. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé happy first Sunday of the month of February. In February 4th, 2024. Bí ẹ mọ̀ mí tẹ́lẹ̀, Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mò ń jẹ́. Èmi ò mọ gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yà míì, but ìtàn tèmi mọ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ ìdílé tèmi ni pé àwa ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú a kì í ṣe half-job. Iṣẹ́ ta gbé dání, àna kan délẹ̀. It will be painful. It will be painful. But pé tẹ́ bá rò pé àwa máa parí ẹ̀ halfway without delivering this Yoruba nation, kódà it doesn't matter how long tẹ́yìn fi drag ẹ̀, àwa náà máa bá yín drag ẹ̀. I'm talking to these politicians. Ìgbà tẹ́ bá fẹ́ bá wa drag ẹ̀, àwa náà máa bá yín drag ẹ̀. But we must wake the minds of the people at home quickly. So I'm going to go and now again back. While we are going to be expecting your donation, voluntary donation, Koiki, ntèmi ní lélẹ̀, ntẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe, àyàndẹ̀ kẹ́ máa lọ ṣe lọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ni máa sọ lórí social media. But the work must start quickly, just like we started brilliantly some 3 years ago. I'm talking about my platform, from what we can do. So let's hope that those donations will start coming through today, not tomorrow. Because what I've seen is that many of us love to just listen. You go from here, you go to another platform, you listen. So what is going to be the solution? Some of us will not get tired. but we need to start implementing things that can move mountains. I'm not going to mention the name of the program on the TV, Lori YouTube. They are going to be traveling out of Nigeria, Losibi Konloshi prayer, and it's going to cost about $1,500. It's going to cost about $2 million. One makuro nínú Nigeria, one lọ ṣe prayer ọjọ́ mélòó kan ní outside. Lóòótọ́ kò kàn wá. Lóòótọ́ owó àwọn èèyàn ló fẹ́ lò, owó tí wọ́n lọ fẹ́ lò, olúkálùkù tó fẹ́ lọ. Ṣé mọ̀ pé purpose tó fi lọ yẹn fún 7 days yẹn, once náà fẹ́ lọ wá ìgbàlà lọ sí fẹ́ lọ. Ẹ̀yin náà jẹ́ káwa náà raise millions ká fi wá ìtura sílẹ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí. Bóyá tó bá yá àwọn tó ń lọ yẹn, they might not even want to go and do 7 days prayer níbì kan. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìní ni mò ń sọ yìí. Mo ń rí tán fi list gbogbo èyí tó máa cost am. Kódà wọ́n sọ fún àwọn tó jẹ́ diaspora gan pé tẹ́yìn náà bá fẹ́ pàdé wa ní ọ̀hún èyí báyìí ló máa cost wa. That is the power of what religion is doing on its own, which is great. But why are we scared? Pump it, put it, make sure we can continue to deliver that message of hope. I'm not talking about the Hope 93, because Hope 93, Babangida Jeko fail. Hope put on TAPC, the result. PDP, long what do you have? Yeah, gbogbo ṣẹ́rí gbogbo yẹn àti wà wí ẹ̀yẹn nísìn gbogbo yẹn láti mọ̀ nísìn. But what is the next level of moving this campaign at least away from the social, because kò sígbà táwọn lè ṣe program tí bá parí ilé nísìn tí bá tún fi pé ohun mi kí n jáde nírọ̀lẹ́ èmi mo lára mi èmi mo kúkú lára mi kò dẹ̀ síjọ́ tí mo jáde tí àwọn èèyàn ní tẹ̀lé wa, because as I'm speaking right now, we're streaming on multiple different channels. And I know how many people are listening to my own message. Because my message Timon deliver. Deliver. Because èmi ti sọ láti day one pé ọ̀nà tó pọ̀ la máa lò lóòótọ́, but the final one tí àwọn olóṣèlú ò bá ti jẹ́ ká jọ ìjókòó àlàáfíà, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí máa di everybody knows that. And I've not changed my word on that. But we must first get the message back on the ground as quickly as possible. So let's hope that many of us will start doing exactly what we are going to do. This is not collecting money for YSDA. I'm not collecting money for anybody. I am collecting money for the Koikimedia because it makes it a platform to select for Yoruba nation. And I'm not going to change that. Mo lè wá wò pé mo ní owó yẹn YSDA náà ní ìdówó tèmi bá wá ní mo lè fún ọ nínú ẹ̀. But I am talking about my platform and I mix it all. Ojú mi lélẹ̀. If you deliver, we will deliver. Tẹ́ bá ti deliver, gbogbo àjọ máa wọra wa báyìí. A máa ṣe program, a máa dá para, a máa sọ̀rọ̀, apá, a lọ, wọ́n á dijọ́ kejì. Ẹ kúkú lè mú mi pé kí ló wá ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Nobody should ask me níbo ni àjọ èdè. Everybody ti mọ ibi tó dé nísìn. Everybody more the next thing tó yẹ ká ṣe. Èmi ò dẹ̀ ṣe Kúnlé Afọláyan, mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe àwọn sisters wa tó ṣẹ̀ ṣe movie to hit 1 billion naira. Àwọn èèyàn ṣàlọ́ lọ́wọ́ movie yẹn tó fi rí 1 billion. Ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà raise 1 billion naira. Kẹwàá mọ́ntà lè ṣe. Ẹ sì fẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ kọ script jáde. Ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n mú proposal wá. I haven't got the time for all that. We are in a movement as an activist. There are some things that we will come up and say, Mura ile, Mura okada mefa. Ara paper. But there are some things that I will never come out and tell you because America ń sọ gbogbo tó ń ṣe fún mi. UK ń sọ gbogbo tó ń ṣe fún mi. pẹ̀lú defence budget wọn. Tèmi náà bá ní 1 billion naira, èmi náà gbé campaign káàkiri on our own platform to penetrate wherever I think is necessary to penetrate. I have 191 local governments in Yoruba land. Some of them are not going to accept the kind of message I'm saying. They're careless. Some of them are just blockhead, while some don't even know what to do. So we hope that many of us will support this powerful message that we're delivering today, being the first Sunday of the month of February. There are so many ways you can do your donation. If you want to do it through the Binance wallet, the cryptocurrency, we can take it, don't worry. I have it. Because some of you are very skeptical. But worry, come out or track me now. What you can do is just get in touch with me and I'll send you my wallet and just send it into it. It's one of the fastest and secure way to deliver money. I'm not talking about small money now. We're talking about big, large money. I'm not talking about small money now. We're talking about big money that we can use and project for the next 3 years as it is right now. At least something that we can say, yes, owo gidi lele. Sabashin 100,000, 50,000. We should be talking about billions of naira. Because mo mọ̀ in town of Gbajabiamila ṣe ní Surulere ní election tó ṣe parí, wọ́n máa nothing less than 3 billion. Àwọn lówó yẹn, but àwọn lówó yẹn, and we are competing with them. Gbogbo tí mo fẹ́ fowó ṣe kọ́ ni màá sọ fún yín lórí social media. But you will see some results of interbanshelo in terms of the offline. It is workable, it can be done, but subject to whether we are ready. The power of the news media tanri ló ń jẹ́ kí àwọn ìlú kan máa sókè. Al Jazeera has changed the game in the Middle East as the power broker when it comes to media. In Al Jazeera, it is well funded by the Qatar government. Lọ́jọ́ iwájú, Yoruba government máa ní media tiẹ̀, just like Nigeria ní NTA, which is our lani kó tó di pé wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. So lọ́jọ́ iwájú, àwọn ò ní need pé àwọn jáde báyìí ta pray pé kò ní pẹ́ mọ́ láti sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá through channel media tìjọba ìjọ náà lọ́hùn tá a bá ti gba ibi tá à ń lọ. But for now, the voluntary support is what we need, and we need it now to be able to work with. We need it now. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé happy Sunday once again. So let's go and read a little bit about what Baba Akintoye wrote some few years back in terms of Nibolan law. Irú eléyìí nísìn, akọ̀gbé sórí website, very brilliant manual guide in English. Some of you have come across it. And tó bá ní ìdẹ̀kọ̀ lọ sórí website mi, www.koikimedia.com. It is there. You can download it. But ǹjẹ́ lè transform ẹ̀ sínú Yorùbá kó dẹ̀ jẹ́ in táwọn èèyàn máa lè rí ní ọwọ́ ní paper. Because tí bá sọ fún ẹni tó wà lábúlé pẹ̀ lọ sórí Koikimedia website, number one, they don't even have the phone to do that. But in tí bàbá kọ ẹ̀, tí wọ́n bá farabalẹ̀, tí wọ́n kà lédè Yorùbá, ṣe mọ̀ pé tí olóṣèlú bá dọ́dọ̀ wọn, wọ́n kọ́ sọ pé olóṣèlú pé okay, bí a kẹ́ mówó yẹn wá, but àwọn tí mo bí táwọn fi ṣe, which is what some of you have done, and we are grateful fẹ́yìn tẹ́ listen sí wa. You have the right. Olóṣèlú bá gbówó wá fún yín, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ẹ gbówó lọ́wọ́ wọn. Sí nǹkan tó bá níbẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ní láti lọ dìbò. Àwọn kan ní ẹ tá bá dìbò, àwọn ẹ̀yà mi máa wọlé. But Yorùbá ti wà níbẹ̀ nísìn. At least Yorùbá ní Tinubu, but working for Nigeria. And Tinubu has his own mission and agenda. So when some of you think that we will just come out and be talking without putting extra energy on the ground, we will talk and we are not going to fight to get to the next part of the movement. Then it would take some time, Yoruba Nation, especially after the nasty woman came and told Yoruba people lies. What he hung by be anger. Wole wale, wole kúrò sókè. Ìtìjú ò tí lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n sọ fún ọmọ Yorùbá pé ìrìn àjò yẹn ti mẹ́hẹ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn. Ìtìjú ò jẹ́ kó lè sọ síta. Even though wọ́n mọ̀ pé ìrìn àjò táwọn ń sọ fún ọmọ Yorùbá tó nù gbé wá has no relevance in the 21st century. Àfẹni tí kò bá ní làákàyè. Ẹni tó bá ní làákàyè lọ́mọdé lágbàlagbà lárúgbó tó dẹ̀ ń gbọ́n kan tá à ń sọ kódà tó jọmọ kékeré kò gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé a ti gba Yorùbá nation country. Ta dẹ̀ ń rí bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń operate. So they're already stuck. But I am not here to talk about them because they're so irrelevant. But we cannot leave them because of ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti lọ hang pẹ̀lú wọn. Some of you will just be frustrated and nothing we can do to that because àrùn yín ṣe. Towards Yoruba self-determination, Yoruba nation chooses the noble path to its noble goal. A manual of the Yoruba self-determination struggle for all Yoruba self-determination advocates at home and in the diaspora. Professor Adebanji Akitoye, Introduction. The following is a guide or manual for the use of all Yoruba patriots engaged in the struggle for Yoruba self-determination. It supplies to all supporters of the self-determination struggle the kinds of information that they will need to prosecute the struggle, and it supplies guides to the struggle strategies and method. One strategy will be Yoruba nation, there's no doubt about it. Kódà àwọn opposition wa, they are still working, they are working their ass. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ because ojoojúmọ́ ló ń jáde ló ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò dáa, ara iṣẹ́ kan náà ló ṣe ń ṣe yẹn bọ̀wọ́ ọkọ̀ tí gba country ni. Ó dà pé èèyàn mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. They're coming out every day. I watch him, I see him, I sit down in my house and I look at him from the big screen and I just shake my head at it. Carry ọmọ dáadáa, that's Chimabawa campaign. Because ṣàmọ̀ pé táwọn náà bá jáde mọ́ tó ṣe get stuck yẹn, message tó kọ̀ rọra ń jáde lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n yẹn náà kò ní máa filter síbi tó yẹ kó lọ because in time ṣe nísìnyí pé our messages is filtering but our politicians ti fi what to block it. Ṣé mọ̀ pé nílùú yìí nísìn mo lè access RT and I think that's a good example for me to lock in. Ta ló mọ̀ RT, Russian TV? Ta ló máa ń wò tẹ́lẹ̀? Ẹ fi sínú comment section. Nígbà tó ogun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Ukraine àti Russia, ìjọ́ ò lẹ wò gbẹ̀yìn ní ìlú yìí. Kí lẹ rò pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀? Firewall. That is what we are dealing with in Nigeria. The job to break that firewall. Kò ń ṣe ọwọ́ mi nìkan ló wà, but díẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ Koikimedia. I can break into that firewall, but it will need a lot of funding. Kò ń ṣe funding kékeré ni mo sọ nísìn. firewall in Nigeria. You okay? No, not yet. How are you?
Good.
Okay. I love you.
Can I come?
No. My cameras are on.
Okay.
Okay. Just handshake. Good boy.
Yeah. When's my mom?
Coming. They're coming soon. They're
Come.
coming soon. Soon.
Huh?
There is a firewall. I love their program because their program is different from Sky and BBC. But níjọ́ tó gun ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí ni wọ́n ti blọ́ọ̀kì wọn lọ jẹ́ ká rí wò mọ́. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé àwọn èèyàn wa wọ ọ̀gbọ́n kan tá à ń sọ is a firewall between us and them. Ẹ rántí pé nígbà tí Buhari tó blọ́ọ̀kì Twitter, many people have to use the VPN to reroute pé wọ́n sí nínú Nàìjíríà because iṣẹ́ tí VPN máa ń ṣe nìyẹn. A kò change the location ẹ pé inú Nàìjíríà kọ́ ló wà, even though pé Nàìjíríà ló wà. So they use that to access Twitter for 6 months. So ọ̀nà olè fi pa wá fẹ́ gbà tá à ń sọ pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation tá à ń jáde tí a dẹ̀ ti gbìyànjú yàn rẹ̀ ti stop pẹ̀lú àwọn tó jẹ́ leaders wa and many different platforms and many different categories of messages from brilliant speakers that we don't have to start mentioning their names, whether it's our female speakers, our male speakers, collective speakers from the global media, the home-based media, the independent media. Nobody can say that we have not done well, but there is a firewall. Firewall wà láàrin àwa àti Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn wa nílé. Ọ̀nà firewall yẹn ni Bàbá Akíntóyè fi sọ pé a manual of the Yoruba self-determination struggle for the Yoruba self-determination advocate nílé àti ní diaspora. Though this manual was motivated in the context of one main organization tí a mọ̀ sí Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà tó ń bẹ nílé, tó ń bẹ lóko, tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo 7 continents of the world. Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà tí bàbá tí ó darí ẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń pè ní Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè.
I need help.
Bàbá Akíntóyè ló sọ fún gbogbo wa pé there is another hope, but hope yẹn kò ní wáyé tá bá ṣì wà nínú Nàìjíríà. So he gave us a manual guide. This manual guide have not been studied enough by many of us, including myself. We've not studied it to the extent to be able to pull ourselves out, because tó bá jẹ́ pé gbogbo ala ka manual guide yìí, èyí tí gbogbo wa fi pín yẹ́lẹyẹ̀lẹ, ta fẹ́ ṣe tiwa, ta fẹ́ dẹ́gbẹ́ tiwa sílẹ̀, ta wá jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀. Yes, all these are good, but why not on a one platform? We will never get that one platform if that is what we are all looking for. Never. We will never get it. We will never get it. So what we can do is that encourage as many platforms that are honest and loyal to tell us exactly how we can move the mountain. This is the collective work, definitely. But many of us have not studied this manual tí Bàbá Akíntóyè kọ yìí. Ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ gbọ́ rí pé Bàbá Akíntóyè tẹ̀ release manual rí. Bí a ní sìn tẹ̀ bá ṣe máa gbọ́ for the first time. Àwọn kan ti gbọ́ rí. Though this manual was motivated in the context of one main organization, Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà, it is meant to be a fighting manual. I love that word, fighting manual. For all persons and organizations. Fighting manual yẹn ni èmi nínú Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà as a media organization tó takú pé wọn ò ṣe Nàìjíríà mọ́, tó dẹ̀ fi liberate àwọn èèyàn kúrò nínú ẹ̀ bọ̀ kò lówó, kò ní resources, kò ní funding. But the little funding and the resources tó ní látọdún mẹ́ta from the support of the loyal members of these campaigners, because gbogbo ni campaigner, we've been able to move that firewall. But firewall yẹn àìtí crack it tán délẹ̀ láṣìṣe ní hiccup. Because while táwa ń ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn multiple loyal individuals and groups of people, àtúwálé àwọn tó tún wá dàrú láàrin méjì. And some of you think that ìyá yẹn wá dàrú because lọ́kàn yín ó dàbí àtẹ́ pé à ń wà against wọn àìtí ní enough wọ́n tún wá pín sí méjì. It has always been like that. Látayébáyé ni àwọn olóṣèlú mọ géèmù yẹn dáadáa because in táwọn fi ń jẹun tó fi ń gbé ayé nìyẹn. Because wọ́n mọ̀ pé in tí bàbá Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè tó ń sọ fún wa as a learned professor, historian, a man that can see the future, tó sọ fún mi pé kí n sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé Nigeria has dragged our people to poverty. And we all can say it, but how do we break the firewall? Ọ̀nà wo la fi gbà? And that is why sometimes I say, ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ eré, kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ àwàdà. Tá a bá ń fi gbogbo yẹn sí láàrin méjì, it's just because we just want the human. Ó jẹ́ ká máa jáde pẹ̀lú ìbínú because it's a fighting manual lọ́gbélé wa lọ́wọ́. And that is why my own platform has been different from many other platforms because fighting manual lèmi gbé dání. Ìjà manual yẹn lèmi gbé dání pé ọ̀nà tèmi máa gbà ó gbọ́dọ̀ yàtọ̀. Especially tí mo bá tẹ̀ mọ ìkọ̀kan nígbà tàtẹ̀ náà ṣe Yorùbá Nation Movement. Ìlú yìí ni mo dé bá ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn IRA in 1998 when I came to UK. Because ìgbà tí mo dé UK, no audio care. Really? Níbo ni kò ti sí audio? Audio wà. Ẹ má bínú, mo ṣe rí message. I'm talking about from the Koikimedia. Ṣé audio ń jáde nínú Koikimedia YouTube channel? Ẹ má bínú, I've not been looking at the comments, so I don't know how soon or when the audio, but I can see my bar is moving. I hope the audio, okay. Ṣé audio yẹn stop láàrin méjì ni? Because I didn't look at the comments. Maybe I should just let this one in my row comment like because I'm on the back end, so I can't see anything when I'm that. So let me just be monitoring because it's very, all right. Thanks so much, everyone. Happy Sunday, wherever we are around the world. So let's go back to the fighting manual. Kí ló ń pè ní fighting? Ìjà. Ìjà wá póríṣiríṣi. Kódà ọmọ Yorùbá sọ pé ara eyín nìjà wà. Yorùbá sọ pé ara mídíà nìjà wà. Yorùbá sọ pé ara máa gbébọn nìjà wà o. Ṣẹ̀rọ̀rọ̀ ìyẹn, we are not being honest with ourselves that intagbedani, it's likely to get to that stage. And I use the word carefully, likely to get to that stage. And it's going to use to defend ourselves. against anyone that is going to want to come and attack us. Because kódà ìjọba àgbáyé sọ pé you have the right to defend. Ìyẹn làwọn Amẹ́ríkà ṣe ń lò bọ́n. But that is not what we should push more. But we should just have it at the back of our mind. Pé àwa ta fẹ́ kúrò, because àwọn olóṣèlú náà lò bọ́n náà, wọ́n ní ìbọn ọkọ̀ bọ́n fáwọn èèyàn náà. Everybody knows that. Ìbọn wà lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní láàrin Èkó, ìbọn wà lọ́wọ́ wọn ní Èkìtì. The former governor of Ogun State, Amosun, over 1,000 AK-47 ló dá padà tó fi kó fún Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún because wọ́n agree. Níbo ló kó bọ́n yẹn sí tẹ́lẹ̀? But àìtí dé stage ọ̀rọ̀ ìbọn yíyọ síra wa. Stage tá a wà nísìnyí pé ẹja padà síbi pé ká tẹ̀ push more message fáwọn èèyàn wa. Ká lè ní support wọn lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. But we are fighting with a firewall. Pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn West. Can you slow that TV completely because it's not here? The Europeans and the colonies or whatever we call them, àwọn òyìnbó, àwọn tó wà behind the atrocities of mankind, àwọn tó wà behind the locking of our potential as the real indigenous people. Look, ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣe ní sympathy fún Nàìjíríà, either through a love of football, through Davido gbọ́nrin, through wọ́n ṣe this, wọ́n ṣe that. Those sympathy kò jẹ́ kó wà nẹ́ẹ̀kan wa rárá. Fún àwa tá a ti gbàgbọ́ gidi tó yẹ pé fighting spirit ló wà lára wa. Èmi ọmọ tẹlòmíì fighting spirit ló wà lára tèmi. Tẹ bá ń gbọ́ fighting spirit, òun lèmi gbé dání látọdún mẹ́ta o, going to 4 years. I don't know about individual, but mo mọ̀ pé lára àwọn tájọ́ ń sọ pé àjọ ń ṣe ìrìn àjò yìí, a lè sọ pé yes, ẹ̀yin náà ní fighting spirit. But I'm speaking on behalf of Koikimedia. So I am using Koikimedia as the fighting spirit fún ìrìn àjò yìí. But the problem táwọn ní pé a ní funding. We don't have funding. We don't have what it takes to do the fight, especially with a monster country bíi ti Nigeria. Débi pé àwọn owó tá máa ń gbọ́ tí àwọn ń lò táwa bá tẹ̀ rí díẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀. Now, I don't mind fighting spirit. And I hope we would not stop the fighting spirit now. Àwa tá jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ má fi sentiment sí pé Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ o. Tinubu has nothing to offer any one of us. Àwọn ní game plan tiwọn, àwa náà ní game plan tiwa. Game plan tiwa ni pé a fẹ́ win. Game plan tiwọn náà la fẹ́ win. Èèyàn méjì ló ń gbá game o. Èèyàn kan ló máa win o. Àfi tẹ́ bá ṣòjòrò. Game plan President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ní Nigeria. Game plan Baba Akintoye òun ní Yorùbá nation. Ó wá kọ ẹni tó fẹ́ win láàrin àwọn méjèèjì. But tí ẹ̀yẹn lè lọ ṣàkóbá fún wa tó bá máa fi ní tenure tó máa elapse in 2027. Ẹ má fojú sọ. We know, I have said it, that he's going to rig the election. But tó bá lọ see the other way around, tí APC bá lọ lose ní 2027. Because àwọn Nigerians orí wọn pé wọ́n ní mental problem. Àti Igbo tó wà ń bẹ̀, àti Yorùbá àti Hausa àti gbogbo ẹ̀yà tó wà ń bẹ̀, wọ́n máa dìbò olòṣì ní gbogbo wọn bó ṣe wà yẹn, olórí burúkú bomb bastard ni wọ́n máa dìbò ní 2027. And anything can happen. Tí military bá gbàjọba, ǹjẹ́ à ń rò lọ́kàn pé kí la máa ṣe? Military máa suspend the constitution, because constitution yẹn àwọn náà lọ kúkú kọ wá kọ́kọ́ suspend yẹn. Maima wọ́n tún sọ pé àwọn tí dìbò wọ́n ti suspend it. Military ló wà níbẹ̀. They are meant to hold election very soon. Maima, I hope I pronounce Maima, yeah. Maima. Myanmar. Myanmar in Burma. Myanmar is a Southeast Asian nation of more than 100 ethnic groups. 100 làwọn ní, àwa ní 250. It's bordering India, Bangladesh, China, Laos, Thailand, Yangon, formerly Iragan, the country's largest home to bustling market. Election tó jẹ́ kó hold láti dájọba padà sí civilian is not going to happen anytime soon. And now let me give you some of the headline coming from that. So we must prepare our mind. Pé tí ó bá tẹ̀ lọ happen pé wọ́n fi gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Tinubu, ǹjẹ́ àwa ọmọ Yorùbá lè move swiftly láti sọ pé yes, a máa pull out kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Tó o bá dẹ̀ wá gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Tinubu, tí Tinubu bá dájọba padà fún wọn kọ́. Are we preparing for that? We must prepare for a lot of things, even if it's going to take us some time. This is not the time to joke. A lè dápara, a lè rẹ́rìn nínú ìrìn àjò yìí. This is the time to start preparing policies for the Yoruba government. This is time to prepare as much of different things quietly and the ones to máa hàn síta. Jagunjagun ni gbogbo wa, but jagunjagun ni Olóyè Igboho. And it will need every one of us to prepare their mind. I'm sorry, I can't see anything that Iba Gani Adams is going to do. I'm sorry to use that word. I don't see it. He has not proved that to us as Omo Yoruba. All he's saying is still just rhetoric. That's all I'm saying from him. I'm not seeing a bold, ready person that can lead and we follow. He's not ready. So don't count him as one of us. I'm not even sure whether he's still one of us as Omo Yoruba. Because he should be giving some kind of interviews to Mama Jeff fighting spirit from gbogbo Omo Yoruba. Ti gbogbo ade Mama sọ pé yes, Iba Gani Adams don't sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lógun ọ̀fẹ́ o. But he's not. Rather, he's been very quiet. For whatever reason. Ṣé kò ṣe pé àwọn àti Tinubu jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn? I don't know. Washington sọ fáwọn ọba pé kó fún àwọn láyè. That is the reason why Olóyè Igboho is different. Myanmar junta replaced election body chief February 1st, 2024, according to Burma's website. The Myanmar military regime has sacked its election body chief Taina So after extending emergency rule for another 6 months. Many of us don't know what we are into. Ẹ kò rò pé Yorùbá nation a kò bọ́ sínú ẹ̀ ẹ̀ mọ́ ta wà nínú ẹ̀ gangan. In ta wà nínú ẹ̀ in tó máa di nǹkan ńlá tí a gbọ́dọ̀ mú ẹ̀mí wa ready fún. Tí ẹ̀mí yẹn dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wà ní pé gbogbo ìtẹ́sí ń sọ pé kó lóye má lọlé kó má lọlé. Ìgbà wo ni kò ní lọlé náà? Ìgbà wo ni kò ní lọlé? Ẹni máa kú lọ́rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ ẹni máa yè. Ẹni máa lọ. Over 1 million people will die if care is not taken. Ìtàkọ̀rọ̀ ń bára wa sọ yìí. Àìtí mọ́ta gbé dání. Olóyè lọlé kò lọlé. Wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ at the appropriate time. It might not be this month. It might not be next year. It might be 3 years from now. Ṣé fi pé Ṣòwòrẹ́ ọmọ tó lè ṣe? Ọmọ tó lè ṣe. But kò tí ní nǹkan tó pọ̀ tó lè fi engineer síta. Tó bá ní tán, Ṣòwòrẹ́ ó lè lead ẹ̀. Ṣé fi pé Samuel Ekpa ò ní lead ẹ̀? Bí a ṣe ní kan. Nàìjíríà wà níbi tó jẹ́ pé àwọn northerner náà lè ṣe jàǹbá tó pọ̀ fún wa tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní. This is not the time to joke. We have been joking too long. This is not the time to joke anymore. We must have the fighting spirit. Wá ti dágà bẹ́ẹ̀ lómi lára, á sì máa jà lọ, àpá mẹ́ta nu wọn, kóhun tó kú. A máa rántí ẹ̀ ni. Gbogbo wa tí ready, eré la ṣe ń ṣe. We are not ready yet. Enduro kọ́kọ́ lana keto activate. We must be preparing our mind for the worst case scenario. Tí Tinubu bá ṣèjọba tán, tá bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, wá pàṣẹ gèsì gbogbo wa lára. Èmi ò kúkú sí Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo family mi tó bá wà ńbẹ̀, èyí tó bá lè sá lọ, èyí tó bá sá lọ, ẹ di refugee kalẹ̀. Refugee wà káàkiri àgbáyé. Ẹ lọ wọn tó ń lọ ní Palestine. Israel care less. Wọ́n ti pa over 30,000 innocent lives. Olórí burúkú United Nations rí kankan ṣe sí. But ìjà yẹn ò ní tán lẹ̀ because ìjà tó ń jà yẹn àwọn ń lo fire power. Àwọn yẹn ní kọ́ máa bọ̀ nísàlẹ̀. Àwọn ò ní sọ mélòó ló ti kú nínú àwọn sójà tí wọn. Ẹ̀mí ti lọ. We are not ready yet. And we must protect Baba Akintoye and Igboho. These two is the reason why media like us must push more now and prepare our mind. Ní kẹ́ máa love Tinubu. But tó bá lọ tán, àwọn gómìnà lórí burúkú yẹn, they will all run out of Nigeria and get to as nearest border láti fly jáde kúrò níbẹ̀. Kódà èmi àmúra bí obìnrin ẹ̀ ní mọ̀ pé Mákindé ló ń lọ yẹn. Ṣèbí tó bá mọ̀ pé òun ló wà nínú bọ́kà. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́ nílùú etí ń dún gbogbo wa apọ̀nṣométí? A gbọ́ pé bí UK ṣe ní security tó alámásìgbà bí kí ló ń jẹ́? Ó múra bí obìnrin, ó dẹ̀ jáde kúrò nílùú yìí. UK ò believe ẹ̀. Ó sì ń fún wọn ní concern pé ó beat security. Ẹ wá ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ lawless country yẹn. We are not ready yet. But I like kákọ̀ máa rọra máa tẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ọmọlúwàbí. Ẹ fi pé Baba Akintoye máa sọ fún yín pé bí mi ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, bàbá ò lè jáde máa sọ gbogbo ilé fún yín. Bàbá ti fún wa ní manual guide. And the beginning of the manual guide sọ fún wa pé the fighting manual ló wà lọ́wọ́ wa. The fighting manual. So let's go back. Mo kàn mọ̀ mú yín lọ díẹ̀ sí àwọn lórí burúkú military. Koiki tí military bá dé bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ wá fún wa ní Yorùbá nation. Ta ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún yín? Àwọn ní agenda tí wọ́n tó máa ṣe pàdépàdé pẹ̀lú àwọn West. Ṣé mọ̀ pé bí a ṣe ń pariwo Niger àbí Niger, ṣé mọ̀ pé Amẹ́ríkà ò bá wọn jà? Ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ pé Amẹ́ríkà ò bá wọn jà. Amẹ́ríkà ti accept pé junta ló máa wà níbẹ̀ because America invest $80 billion, the biggest drone in Africa. Ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ló wà, ọ̀dọ̀ Niger ló wà. Ẹ wá ní ká Amẹ́ríkà bá wọn jà, even though pé àwọn sọ fún Amẹ́ríkà pé on their own terms and conditions, Amẹ́ríkà náà wà okay pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. They were happy with it. It shows the hypocrisy of the West. Wọ́n lé France lọ, wọ́n tì wọ́n, kódà ambassador náà wọ́n ní lọ, wọ́n ní kó shut down gbogbo náà mọ́ lára. America ò tí declare wọn as terrorist. America sì rí wọn as partner tó sì lè bá ṣe torí pé wọ́n need wọn. Ẹ̀yin kan ní ká má bá wọn Biafra ṣe pé à need wọn, ṣe lè dájà. Àwọn tí àwa tá jọ ń wọra wa yìí, àwa tá náà ṣe Yorùbá nation, ṣá lè dájà without the Biafra. Ẹ kó jágbàjàgbà lọ, ẹ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ. Ẹnu la ní bí àjàkàrà, including myself. Fighting spirit ló wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ díkedíke, àwọn ọmọ Biafra. Fighting spirit. Wọ́n ready láti fi ẹ̀mí wọn sílẹ̀ láti liberate ara wọn. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dẹ̀ ń bọ̀, ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀, ó lè jọ ọdún mẹ́ta, I don't know. Mo sí nínú cabinet wọn, mo mọ tán ṣe. But in tí mo bá meeting ta ṣe pẹ̀lú Nnamdi Kanu, fighting spirit wà lára ẹ̀. It's not for public consumption. Ó dọjọ́ iwájú kẹ́ tó kàwé mi. Kò ń ṣe meeting ẹ̀mẹ́jẹ mẹ́ta la bá Nnamdi Kanu ṣe. Mo mọ ohun tó sọ, mo mọ ohun tó náà fẹ́ ṣe, àdẹ̀mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tó náà fẹ́ gbé. It's called the fighting spirit. Baba Akintoye fún wa ní manual guide o. Káwa náà lọ lò. How many people have sent money to the account now? Or how many people plan to? We love the energy, but we need the funding. This program ends in 15 minutes. and the last 1 hour, which I'll be offline, use that to support and send your own donation. And don't let it stop. So we got 15 minutes. Very importantly, it is based on the fundamental character of the Yoruba nation as a civilization-building nation, a nation with goodwill and hospitality towards all other nationalities. It is also based on the humble and the sincere obedience of all persons working for Yoruba self-determination to the manifest demand of the whole Yoruba nation. The demand that the struggle of the Yoruba self-determination must be peaceful, law-abiding, knowledge-driven, purpose-driven, and disciplined. Ṣẹ̀rí pé bàbá Akíntóyè sọ síbẹ̀ pé a máa ja ogun. But ọlọ́gbọ́n ló mọ̀ pé professor ló kọ̀wé, Yorùbá ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, àwa ni ká wá lọ translate sí ọ̀nà tá a bá fi pé a fi translate sí. Bàbá Akíntóyè never mentioned that there will be war. All he said is the demand that the struggle for Yoruba self-determination must be peaceful, law-abiding, knowledge-driven, purpose-driven. Kí ni purpose-driven? And discipline. And we have done that for 3.5 years. But I know what I told him when I went to Nigeria. 30 minutes before the end of the program, the last 1 hour, Toku Tani see online. And you know, if you lost in account, because of the Koiki, a working job, Lord. And we see how we go. And I'm going to take just the last phrase from here. This manual is also intended to the wide world, the basic details of the Yoruba nation's reasons. Ìdí pàtàkì ẹlòmíì ọmọ ìdí tá a ṣe fẹ́ lọ Fúlàní pa wá wọ́n jẹ́ ọba náà kò ń ṣe torí ẹ̀ la ṣe fẹ́ lọ tá a bá gba Yorùbá nation Fúlàní máa ṣe fẹ́ pa wá àwa la máa pa wọ́n náà tẹ́ bá gba Yorùbá country Igbo sì máa fi gbalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí àwa la máa make sure pé kò possible tá a bá gba Yorùbá nation country IMF World Bank tá a bá careful they will destroy our economy wọn ní jẹ́ ká gbérí àwa la máa refuse pa nígbà. So ẹlòmíì ọmọ purpose àti fi gba Yorùbá nation akọ̀ǹsọ à ń jí àfi gba Yorùbá nation now. But what is the real purpose àti fi gba Yorùbá nation? The real purpose is because there's a lot at stake on the real identity of who we are and the history that in Babo. This manual is also intended to provide the wide world basic details of the Yoruba nation's reasons for now seeking to assert its self-determination and sovereignty separate from Nigeria. The last meeting kan tí mo ṣe pẹ̀lú bàbá Akíntóyè mo ń reference kankan mo á lọ ń dárúkọ Nàìjíríà bàbá yẹn ní wọn ò fẹ́ gbọ́ Nàìjíríà rárá mọ́ sẹ́ẹ̀. Ó ní ẹ lè lo country míì fi ṣàpèjúwe bọ́ ẹ má máa jẹ́ ká lo Nàìjíríà fi ṣàpèjúwe because it is not a country. Namely, the Yoruba people devastating experience in Nigeria. Kí ni experience tèmi? Kí ni experience tiwọ? Do we have this fighting spirit? We've lost it. Torí pé ìyá kan dé, ṣé ó tì wá mọ́nú ògo ni? Ìbáwọn ṣe tí wọ́n lọ nísìn. Gbogbo alákòókò wà lórí platform wọn tá à ń gbọ́ tá à ń rí tá à bá tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fúlì mọ́ bí ti tẹ́lẹ̀. Olóṣèlú ṣe tí náà dúró tá à ní àlè ṣe tiwa. It's because olúkálùkù wa ṣì ń sniff ní ká trust wọn ní ká má trust wọn no problem it's not gonna end the program it will just be as ìgbà tó bá ti dé náà ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ báàgì kan lèmi need àwọn ọmọ mi ń gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ lójoojúmọ́ 72 hours máa kàn yín lára nísàlẹ̀ nígbà pàṣípò yẹn bá tó as a journalist tó fi wá wà nínú tó ti ń ja ogun kí mo fẹ́ wá ṣe lé nísìn mo ní kankan mo fẹ́ wá ṣe lé nísìn I don't have any reason to come home now I don't have any reason kí ni mo fẹ́ wá múlé kájọ máa ṣe rally okay ìyẹn ní make àní gbogbo ẹ̀ bá ti débi tó yẹ kó dé 72 hours mo mọ airport tí máa ti land tí máa gbé ìtókù pẹ̀lú mọ́tò mo mọ̀nà tí máa gbà wọlé àjọ máa wà lórí field yẹn ni nígbà tásìkò bá tó, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself alone. Yoruba people devastating experience in Nigeria, the progressive and now almost total destruction of democracy in Nigeria, the primitive and blood-curdling agenda of ethnic cleansing and genocide in Nigeria, the constant human brutalization, pain, death, regime of crime. Ẹ wá ní kò ní sí wàhálà. Ẹ gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan tí bàbá yìí kọ síta. Crime against humanity in Nigeria. The altogether pulling of Nigeria recklessly down into utter barbarism. Sometimes you will say things, you will hear things, you will be asking, ṣé ó possible ṣá? But it has already been done. Kò ń ṣe pé ṣó possible. Okay, you will see things and you will ask questions that ṣé a ṣì ń gbé nínú civilization ṣá àbá wà nínú barbarism? Gbogbo àwọn kan tá gbọ́ nígbà ayé ti tẹ́lẹ̀ ló ṣì ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà lénìí. Mo kí gbogbo wa generally, I might not mention any name, but mo kí gbogbo wa, because this broadcast end in 8 minutes. A land of unimaginable, almost subhuman viciousness of man against man. Ẹni ẹ̀fẹ̀ wàhálà adẹ̀ ń jẹra wa lójoojúmọ́ nínú ìlú òfò yẹn. Àtẹni tó ní àtẹni tó ní à ń jẹra wa. Because everybody just want to be a land in which humans violently take almost subhuman viciousness of man against man, a land which humans violently take all substance, all hope, and all life from other humans with casual abandon hour by hour. Passion sort of by. Tó máa fi dọ́là agbọ́pọ̀ kidnap, tó máa fi dọ́là agbọ́pọ̀ economy ti crash, tó máa fi dọ́là every hour ni à ń gbọ́ èrò ìbànújẹ́ nílùú olórí burúkú tẹ̀ ń pè Nàìjíríà tí kò ní ṣoríire. Ìlú yẹn máa bọ́ọ̀n ní tó bá tó stage kan. Ẹ̀yin lẹ máa fọwọ́ ara yín kọ́kọ́ fi fáyà sí, àwa bá yín gbé síta, àwa bá yín lónìí ẹ̀ ní 72 hours. Ṣé omi lẹ ṣì ń sọ pé ẹ̀ ń rà ní 300 tó ń sọ pé ogun máa dé nígbà tèmi ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní 3 years ago ẹni mo fẹ́ gbógun wọ Nàìjíríà ó ti kàn yín lára báyìí nísìnyí 10 máa ṣẹlẹ̀. A land in which human blood is spilled continuously into the swelling stream of human blood. Àgbàrá ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe àárín ni. Ṣé rí pé bàbá kí tó yẹ mọ́ tó ń sọ? Ó ní àníjà nínú bíbá ẹ̀ bọ̀ ọlọ́gbọ́n ló máa mọ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ìjà máa wáyé. Àwọn èèyàn wọlé pa ọba mọ́ wa lára àdè activate àdàbí ìgbà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti fi nǹkan de gbogbo wa mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ wá ṣe ń dúró káwa ṣe ìkọ́kọ́ máa bọ̀ ká wá lọ ṣe rally ká ṣe protest pé wọ́n pọ̀ ọba orí yóò pè bomb bastards. Odindi ọba àgbàrá ẹ̀jẹ̀ wá ń lọ lára ẹ̀ kábíyèsí lédè mọ́. Let me read that again. A land, ilẹ̀, in which human blood, ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn, is spilled continually, ojoojúmọ́ ló ń lọ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀, into a swelling stream of human blood, ó ń kan ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn náà. Having evolved and lived a life of civilized culture of thousands of years, àwa tàti sọ pé àwa civilized for thousands of years, àwa bára wa nínú ràkàràkà, nínú dọ̀tí. Inú yẹn la wá jókòó sí, àwa ní ká pull ara wa out, ká fund the movement yìí, ká lè tètè push ẹ̀ jáde, ká lo fighting spirit tó wà lára wa kan. Ẹ wá ní pé kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mò ń jẹ́. Have a very good afternoon and happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Bàbá Akíntóyè, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Tẹ́ gbé fighting spirit sáwà kan lára. Ìgbòho ṣá mo dúró tiẹ̀ tán lágbára Elédùmarè gbogbo decision tẹ́ bá make I will stand with it gbogbo decision pátá tẹ́ bá ti make ni mo dúró tì èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. We will fight this till the last blood. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ tẹ̀yìn olóṣèlú a máa spilẹ̀ a máa dà sí ojú títì tá a máa fi rọ́nà lọ. It will take some time. It will take a lot of energy. Èmi ni last man standing lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. Ẹ máa sá, ẹ máa tì, ẹ gbé gbogbo firework yẹn sí lára. A máa penetrate tó máa ṣojú àwọn èèyàn wa tó máa dìde tí ìrìn àjò yìí máa débi tó yẹ ká fẹ́ kó dé. À ń palẹ̀mọ́ sílẹ̀ òkú ìyá wa inú oṣù yìí náà ni. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè pátápátá a sọ kankan nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ. And like I always say ní ẹ̀yìn àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ bàbá security issue lọ́rọ̀ olóyè máa lọ́lé is not for me to discuss on the social media. Bó jáde kó sọ pé òun bọ̀ nílé kò rán mi sẹ́nibọ́dì pé òun lọ sílé. He has not told me that personally. So I am saying it again. Security issue ni. President márùn ni olóyè Ìgbòho tí mo dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ protect. But the decision of what he wants to do will be his own final say. Thank you so much and happy Sunday. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ràn wá lọ́wọ́ gbogbo platform tí a fi ń raise ọ̀nà owó tá a fẹ́ gbà ó wà lórí website mi ẹ ní láti ṣe wàhálà tẹ́ ẹ bá wá mọ̀ ẹ kàn sí mi. Nothing is too small. We can raise it so that we can kickstart. Now, kò ń ṣe lọ́la, we start today, but it's entirely up to every one of us if we are ready. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ sọ pé ká kàn máa bá ilé ìlọ́ta ránṣẹ́, there's nothing wrong in that. Tó bá wù mí, mo tún lè padà wá lọ́la. Tó bá wù mí, mo lè padà wá lálẹ́. Nobody controls what I do, but I also very, very sensitive with the family around me. But for now, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much. Mo kó gbogbo àpapọ̀ ní gbogbo platforms. Ẹ bá a pín ètò kẹsọ̀ federally kẹsọ̀ farata pé funding Koikimedia are needed. Bye for now. Fàìlérí ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé.
Màtí bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọra. Ìṣọ̀kan tó òmìnira. Ìkẹjẹ́ ká